And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jason Laney, one of the meteorologists here at the National Weather Service, and we are going to take a look at the potential for some snowfall and potentially heavy snowfall setting in later tonight, Friday, Saturday, and even right on into Sunday. So without further ado, here is what we're looking at. You've probably seen our hazards matrix today. It includes some snow starting up in the Gila region of Grant as late as, as late tonight and continuing through tomorrow, but there tends to be a progression of lowland rains changing over to rain and snow as we go through the weekend, with heavy snow up in the mountains, not only the Gila early, but into the Sacramentos a little later. So I thought I would let you know what our worst case scenario is. Now, don't necessarily think we're going to see these totals, but if this becomes the perfect storm, this is what we could potentially realize out of this, and that would mean the Sacramento Mountains getting hit hardest. 1 foot to 1.5 foot of snow in the higher elevations of Otero County, and just shy of 1 foot of snow up in the Gila in northern Grant County. Those obviously the areas where you would expect to see snow, but this is going to be excessive snowfall compared to what we've seen so far this season. And then there's the potential for snow in the lowlands, and right now models are saying it would be the lowlands of southern New Mexico, not far west Texas, that would get most of the snow, but that's all going to be dependent upon where a snow band sets up. If it happens to be a little further east, we could get the snow in places like El Paso and Hudspeth County, but right now the models are leaning more towards parts of Luna and Doña Ana counties in southern parts of New Mexico. So this is a worst case scenario. This is not necessarily what we have in our forecast for today. I'll show you what we're forecasting here in a moment. But should this worst case scenario come to pass, things like high mountain passes likely would be closed due to excessive snowfall, including Emery Pass along New Mexico 152 and other parts of 152 in Grant and Sierra counties, as well as numerous New Mexico highways, U.S. State highways, as well as U.S. highways. Otero County could definitely be impacted in the mountains. They may not be closed completely, but intermittently, depending snow removal, if we get the kind of snow we're talking about. And of course, even with snow down in the lowlands, slushy or snow-covered roads not out of the question, but we really think lowland impacts will be mostly bridges and overpasses, as those tend to ice up the most. So what is our confidence in getting this extremely heavy snowfall? Well, you can see in the Sacramento Mountains it's fairly high, and pretty good medium confidence over parts of the Gila. It's down in the lowlands where we really have our questions, and we'll examine that in a moment. But here's a look at the general weather forecast map for later tonight. Got a storm crossing through northern New Mexico. That's where most of the snow will be tonight. That purple you're looking at, that's kind of a rain-snow mix, meaning rain, a little snow, maybe snow in higher elevations, and it's primarily northwestern parts of our area tonight. Overspreading the area tomorrow as the storm kind of gets its act together, and we do anticipate a band of rain primarily during the middle part of the day tomorrow coming through the lowlands, but maybe mixing with a little snow by late in the day. So that's why we have the purple again across much of southern New Mexico, which is a rain and or snow mix. But you see, by the time we get into Saturday and Sunday, this storm is going to be in the position that if it's continuing to produce anything, it'll more than likely be snow for just about any area. So this is our official forecast. We started this by looking at a worst case scenario. This is officially what we're showing, and 24-hour amounts ending about 5 p.m. Friday, so that'll be over the next 24 hours for most of us. You can see our focus will be in the Gila, the higher elevations there, with anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches of snow, and getting a late go, but snowing nonetheless up across parts of the Sacramento Mountains. Then Saturday, this is when we start to bring in that snow band, which you can see from Hatch back to Deming, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of snow, maybe some isolated areas up to around 3 inches of snow in the lowlands. This would be the day when it would happen, and probably later in the day, Saturday. But again, we don't know where exactly that lowland snow band is going to be, but we do have a lot of confidence that up in those mountains of Otero County, the Sacramentos, could be a lot of snow up that way, and even some lingering light snows on into parts of Sunday morning. So when you put it all together, these are our official snowfall totals, and you'll see Cloudcroft 14 inches of snow. That's not far off our worst case scenario we talked about, but we are showing slightly lower numbers across the Gila and even lower numbers in the lowlands. So we're going to keep a close eye on this nonetheless. Right now we've issued a winter weather advisory, which is basically in effect for this evening, overnight, and tomorrow for the lowlands of Grant County there. anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, and that'll include about 3 inches of snow in Silver City. Winter storm warnings as you get into the higher elevations. Now below 7,000 feet, 3 to 5 inches of snow, 4 to 8 above 7,000 feet. That would be up and around the Emery Pass area where we think we could have some big problems. So because of that, we have a winter storm warning in effect for those areas. That'll be far western parts of Sierra County and the highest of terrain right there in Grant County. And everybody else shaded in blue, which is the rest of southern New Mexico, is a winter storm watch for Friday into Saturday. Hadn't put the snowfall totals on there yet, but that will likely be upgraded at least to a winter weather advisory if the snow does manifest itself. But there's some uncertainties, obviously. We talked about our confidence level. First of all, it's going to take a while to get the real cold air in here. That's going to impact snow accumulations. If this cold air gets in early, snow totals go up. How long do we keep the precipitation? Will it really last all the way into Sunday? If it does, well, obviously snowfall totals, especially lower elevations, could be coming up a little bit above what we've shown there. And of course, the exact position of that lowland snow band right now, it's kind of centered right over south central parts of New Mexico and most of the models we look at. But just a little shift to the east, and we'll be changing our tune a little bit there. So these are all things that we're going to be watching. We're going to be communicating with you over the next couple of days. But to summarize, snow is more than likely coming. The exact amounts we're not sure about, but any snow at all can cause snowpacked and icy roads, especially in our area mountains. And because this could be a heavy wet snow, loading from the snowfall could cause power outages, tree limbs to come down, and maybe some property damage, especially up in our mountainous terrain. And of course the snowy impacts across the lowlands. So a lot to keep an eye on, lots of ways to look at this. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, of course our website, which is weather.gov/El Paso. We invite you to tune in there. Of course, emergency managers and media, you can use chat to talk to us as well here in the office. We'll be here 24/7 updating you on this developing winter storm.